termites. Welcome to the pub. Most importantly, of course, what are we drinking in this beer glass? We are drinking a little Fairhope Cheap Sunglasses Golden Ale. Do you know where Fairhope is? It's in Alabama. And I was cruising through there because I love Mobile and Mobile Bay. There's one of my favorite little restaurants there called Bluegill. I'm going to be posting some videos on the way back from seeing the folks in Florida. Oh, they're all shut up. They're so happy. Them and all their friends. Quite frankly, I'm a little tired of the bragging. We have both restaurants. I am happy for them, but it does, you know, I'm just sitting here going, I'm at a wait list on a Walmart. Trying to earn a living. You guys are retired. You keep on keeping on with your retired selves, and I'm glad you can go to Pickleball. I feel relieved. My friends don't even play pickleball. They did make me play tennis, though. It was both of them against me. And then the next day, my dad goes, "Are you sore?" And I go, "From what?" And he said, "The tennis we played." I'm like, I did it in flip-flops, and I'm not even in shape. I thought that whatever happened out there was an active game of tennis. Bonsai. At least they had the dog. They have a little Yorkie. I don't think it's supposed to be on the tennis court, but it was. And it was a great ball getter thing. So that saved me a lot of extra exercise I didn't need. So we're having a little Alabama beer.
What episode are we on?
We're on episode 30, Paddles.
Woohoo!
Isn't that exciting?
Great.
And then people say you're still going to do this when you go on the road? I hope so. I don't know. It depends on how overwhelmed I am by the road. It's been so long. And then I look at the cities in the fall and I just go, ah. My dad goes, "If you had all the money in the world, would you just retire?" I go, "Yes." He goes, "I'm so happy to hear that. I mean, people shouldn't work forever." I go, "Well, yeah, I would just quit, but I need a lot more for retirement." I mean, I would go maybe on say goodbye to the cities I really liked, and then, yeah. I am looking at the road. I'm excited about the shows. It's not the show part. And the people, I'm excited to see you guys. It's the, you know, just even checking into hotels.
I'm sorry, I was seeing a reservation. Are you sure you made it? Do you have a confirmation number? We only have a room left on the first floor. It's by the ice machine. Is that good?
There's only so much you can take of it.
As long as it's by the bar.
Yeah, no shit. I don't even care if it's in the bar. If you could put a cot in the bar, I'd rather skip the... I do love a Marriott Courtyard, though. And I gotta say, Holiday Inn Express and by my parents in Florida, niet. There's no other place to stay unless I want to stay in their condo and I don't want to get up at 4:30 or whatever time they get up in the morning and then we all have to go to bed at 8. Yeah, no.
I don't know why you don't stay here.
Well, there's a lot of reasons, but here's what I like a Holiday Inn Express breakfast, which they don't even have because of COVID, but I can't do the wall unit in the room right next to the bed. Wake up, instant sinus problems. And it's not just me. I know a lot of other people feel that way. But moving on to happier subjects. Look. Oh, I forgot to introduce Chaka. Look who's here. Chaka. Chaka Khan has made it into the Queens. Tanya's taken a back seat because she hasn't done anything. I think she might have frozen to death in Texas in her tour bus. Has anyone checked on Tanya? The Instagram videos was looking pretty rustic. Maybe somebody could give her a call, see if maybe she got the bus started and went somewhere. I don't know, but she's been awfully quiet. They've all been very quiet this week. Cher, quiet. Nothing out of Stevie. Nothing out of Chaka either. I just like her.
She could hear.
Yeah, and then I thought the cutout of Chaka was a little extra large because I think she lost a bunch of weight, so I put Stevie halfway in front of her. So she's never going to see this, but in the event that people were like, "Why'd you get the fat?" First of all, there's only one. That's all I could find. And second of all, you know, nobody wants to look larger than they are, right? So I'm just doing her a little favor. Moving on, look what we're drinking. Oh my God, I can't wait for those fucking teenagers to come back to this house. And soon enough, a bunch of my nieces and nephews will be teenagers. And when they start the, do you have any ranch? Do you have some more ranch? Have some ranch? I'm going to give them this. Ranch dressing soda. You think I'm making this up if you're listening? I am not. Yo, get your Fixins. That's what it actually says. It's pure cane sugar. It's Lester's Fixins. And I'm not sure I'm going to tell you where it's made. Nevada. Indigo Valley. I'm going to try it. You have to have a bottle opener. How weird is that? That's so 19... Oh, did you hear it? It's ranch dressing soda. I have a glass of ice because I don't want hot ranch soda.
Gross.
I don't know. Look, and it has a picture of a yellow pepper and tomatoes on there. Is that all in here, you think? In soda? Oh, that is putrid. Oh my God. Seriously, that might have like gasoline in it or some shit.
Gross.
That is awful. What are you supposed to do? It says soda. I'm supposed to drink it. Oh, God. That was terrible. But I have 5 more of them in case those teenagers come back. Do you have any ranch? And I'm going to go, yeah. Oh my God. I have ranch soda. And then I'm going to pour and then watch the look on their face, which will hopefully be like mine. Now, we're on a rant. We're doing some more rant. We're going to do a lot of ranches and a lot of fast food things. McDonald's has a chicken sandwich coming out. I'm going to get to it this week, I promise. And Taco Bell, I think, has a chicken sandwich in a chalupa deal. But I don't know if it's available everywhere or where, but I'll get it, I promise. This, I already tasted before I opened the little pub here. But now I have a cracker, so I'm going to do it anyway. Whataburger. This is Whataburger's Jalapeno Ranch. And oh, that cracker doesn't fit in there. This is delicious. So, and you can buy this in the store. You don't have to go to Whataburger. But if you want to go to Whataburger, I bet they don't sell this big of a bottle. 14 ounces of that. Then I'm going to dump that on those children too, those teenagers. Then this Twisted Ranch you can get in Target. And I'm proud to say it's from St. Louis, Missouri, a little neighborhood called Soulard, which I like a lot. One of my favorite bars on earth. Tucker's is there, and McGurk's. Go on their website, and you can see it's like a ranch person's dream come true. Like if those teenagers were my children, I'd make them go work here. Because they have like 7,000 kinds of ranch, and then you can get like a dipping tray with fries in the middle, and it's like a lazy Susan of spinning of dips. This is their Twisted Ranch 103 Black and Peppered Parmesan. It's thick. I wouldn't recommend tons of it, but it's fucking good. Here's our last food thing. I love a Snyder pretzel. Love them. But this is their jalapeno ranch pretzel stick. And no. It's just a no. But I'm saving them. I don't care. They'll be back this summer. Definitely ranch. I'm going to go, oh my God. I have pretzels and a ranch. What do you think about that?
We have to go to Nashville or Charlotte.
I'll go to Nashville. No problem.
March 11th. You can get it.
March 11th.
Yeah.
It's available?
Yep.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yep.
No problem. All right. Moving on. I got to get all this shit. Oh, look. Moving on. Fredbird is peeking out. I'm not over the loss of Colton Wong. Fortunately, I love the city of Milwaukee, so I'm happy for them. Not that I don't love Chicago, I do, but Cardinals, Cubs, we got a little something going on there, and I don't want Colton Wong to be a Cub. I don't mind. Well, I want him to be a Cardinal, but Fredbird is peeking out because spring training is starting, and I'm just going to have to live with the fact that the front office of the Cardinals were cheap sons of bitches and kept people that I don't agree with and didn't pay my favorite Hawaiian of all time. Is he my favorite Hawaiian of all time? Yeah. I don't really... Who was the one? Who was that? Don Juan? Who was the... Don Ho. Don Ho was I think he was a Hawaiian. I don't know any Hawaiians except Colton. It doesn't even matter. Even if he wasn't Hawaiian, he could be from anywhere. He's a 2-time Gold Glove. I won't get into it again, but Fredbird is peeking out. Fredbird is just glancing from my silver stainless steel cleaning cloth. There he is. All right, kids, what do we got going on? There's so much. Wait till you hear the updates. Oh my God. First of all, I don't know if this is a good idea. McDonald's and other chains are giving their drive-thru the Jetsons treatment. Now, this is just a food thing, and we'll get off the food, gas station food. And oh my God, I didn't even talk about going to a Buc-ee's. Oh, they have Buc-ee's in Georgia now. I was cutting down to get to Florida. If you've never been in a Buc-ee's, like if you're going on a road trip, they started in Texas, but they're in Alabama now, Georgia now. So if you're anywhere in the South, Florida, check your route and see if there's a Buc-ee's. I'm gonna put videos on Instagram that I can't, it's hard to explain. Or Google, there's a whole barbecue restaurant, not restaurant, but like they're making barbecue in the middle of it's a giant truck stop / gas station / I don't know, people get picky about those words. I'm not that picky about them. They have a jerky bar. Like normally you'd look in a deli and you'd just see meat like ham and turkey and stuff. It's just jerky, like whatever kind you can think of. I'll post the video on Instagram, but I love a Buc-ee's. But anyway.
They have a hot sauce bar.
The hot sauce bar.
Yeah.
Then they have a whole clothing department where everything says Buc-ee. Like there's a giant adult onesie that has Buc-ee's on it. And then they have their own like chips. You know how like when we didn't have any money as kids, we didn't get like Cheerios. We got like Oreos or some off fucking brand because my mom was like,
I'm not giving to 7 children. You people are eating cereal like you're goddamn starved.
we always got the weird one, you know, Fruity Flakes instead of Frosted Flakes. And it's like either Fruity Pebbles or Frosted Flakes, Mom. But Fruity Flakes, not a thing. Anyway, they have like, instead of, I don't know, potato chips, it's Buc-ee chips. Everything's got Buc-ee the little beaver, who's adorable. And then there's a statue of Buc-ee outside, and they put a mask on him. How great was that? And I would say 99% of people in the Buc-ee I stopped in on this last little road jaunt had masks on. So good for them. I was not thinking, quite frankly, that was going to happen in Georgia. And maybe not in Florida. And definitely not in Alabama. But it did. So there you go. See, people can be nice. McDonald's and other chains are giving their drive-thrus Jetsons treatment. Now, so what they're saying is they're going to automate the drive-thru thing. You're not going to be talking to a person anymore. You're going to be talking, it's a lot like Alexa or Siri, but for a drive-thru, a system driven by artificial intelligence that McDonald's is testing out to speed up its service. I thought this was crazy. Did you know the average drive-thru at McDonald's took 6 minutes and 18 seconds? Doesn't seem like that. Seems like a lot faster to me. Mm-hmm. The only one, the worst drive-thru, in my opinion, literally I could make a hamburger faster in my car, is Steak and Shake. And I love Steak and Shake. But because their burgers are just made to order, I don't know what's going on in there. But Steak and Shake, I would recommend you carve an hour out of your day and go in. Go in. Would you rather go inside and eat, or would you rather sit in your car and wait an hour? Worst drive-thru ever. But I don't know. I don't really go to McDonald's. That's for the kids mostly. I don't consider it because, well, I got really mad when they took away their fries. And they said, well, they didn't take them away, but they quit making them the way they used to because they said they're too fattening and all this shit. And then I thought, well, why don't we have a weigh-in? You know? Get on the scale. If you weigh your proper weight, you can get the old fries. If you're too chubby, no. How about I'll bring in a health thing from a doctor. Here's my cholesterol. Here's this. Here's that. Now can I have the old fucking fries? I lost it after that. But I'll go for the kids, or my mom likes their ice cream. I don't know. McDonald's, it takes 6 minutes and 18 seconds. I always thought it was faster. But recently, the company trimmed that to 5 minutes and 49 seconds in 2020, according to an annual report. Look at them timing us out. Drive-thru accounts for a larger share of fast food sales than ever before. It's also because of COVID. I don't know, though. Do you want to talk to... they got to test it out. Because people change their minds. And then are we going to be... This would drive me ape shit. If I go, oh, I want a medium Diet Coke... a cheeseburger, and that's it. Oh, wait, you know what? I want a small Diet Coke. I'm sorry. If that voice came back to me, I would shoot the drive-thru. I'm sorry. I didn't understand that. Please press 1 to start over. I couldn't do it. These things are disgusting. I have to, sorry, that's very loud. I know that. I know people go,
Jesus Christ, what was that noise?
Chips.
chips. It's ranch, jalapeno ranch pretzels.
Johnny Ranch.
Who knew? So that's our fast food thing. I don't know about Siri and the drive-thru. What I will say is wonderful. And normally, for years, I did jokes about it on stage. Then I think I stopped. But Starbucks, well, I have a million jokes about Starbucks. But my biggest complaint with them, and Pete's did this. They did do it. Starbucks did not. All I want is coffee. I don't want all the rest of that shit. You know,
Can I have a triple latte? And can make the foam like 32% hot. I'll wait.
True.
fuck. There's so many crazy orders, and the people are so, it's too picky, it's too bullshitty. Especially if you just want coffee. Like Pete's, they used to just have coffee, throw, I don't know, $3 in the thing, walk out. Fine, let's do that. But Starbucks app, you say what you want, and it's in there when you go in, boom, you will be lapping everyone. Trust me, at least in the Midwest and the South, nobody's really caught on to the app. Just run in and grab it. Then you don't ever have to sit in the drive-thru again. It's just sitting there ready to go. They'll do whatever you want. It's amazing. But I don't know about an Alexa drive-thru. I just, maybe just the app. And then there's a window for app orders.
Yeah.
Or like Jimmy John's. They have all this food almost like in a drawer, I don't know, in a thing where once you've app ordered, it's just laying there. I don't know why people don't take other people's sandwiches. I don't know why a homeless person doesn't walk in there and just grab three of Mary Kay's bullshit. Who's gonna stop you? I don't understand the system, but I like it. All right. Update! Somebody said their kid likes saying that. So now I'm gonna overdo it on purpose just to be a jackstraw. Update! Oh my God, this is so salacious. Remember when I said nobody, I've seen this article a few times, but I don't hear anybody talking about it, blah, blah, blah. Well, let's get back to our little person in South Dakota. Our attorney general, if you will, a 44-year-old man. Chafin, his face, remember when I said his whole story was bullshit. Nothing made sense about his story. Nothing. He couldn't even tell you, well, did you swerve and hit somebody? He said he thought he hit a deer. Well, did you see a deer? Well, no. Well, and then the cop gave him his personal car to drive back home. And the whole thing, nothing sounded right. Well, we're making a little headway here, folks. His face came through your windshield and his glasses were inside your car. They have this on video. This is at the station where they're questioning him. Moments detectives present compelling hit-and-run evidence against South Dakota Attorney General, only for him to insist he thought he'd struck a deer. I don't know any deer that wear glasses. He's so full of shit. And I don't know if he was texting. Who knows if he was drinking or doing drugs, because they didn't test him for anything until 15 hours later. And I Googled, which is good information for all of us, how long does alcohol stay in your body? A while. Well, it decreases over time, but 15 hours later, if he was super hammered, there'd probably be, but let's say he'd had 3 beers, maybe not. It might not show up as it would have shown up had they done it at the correct time.
But if he's not trying to cover something up, why not just say it?
Well, here's the real crime of it. I don't know if he's not trying to cover it up. Why wouldn't you call and say, holy shit, I hit a person?
Right.
And if the person was walking on the side of the road and it's nighttime, and I don't know they said the lighting isn't bad there. They said it's not like, I'm picturing, and I've driven a million times through South Dakota, I'm picturing dark South Dakota. But they said, no, this is by like a gas station, all that stuff. And accidents happen. Maybe the guy was too close to the road. I don't know, but if it was just an accident, if I hit a person and I saw a fucking face come through your windshield. You don't know if that face is a human or a deer.
Right.
I mean, come on. Anyway, he's so, I don't know, unless he was drunk or maybe he thought he'd get caught that he was texting because they can tell. And then you accidentally hit and kill a person. But also if it's semi-dark and the guy
It's arguable.
what was up with this guy? He kind of abandoned his vehicle. It was just, so there's many things that could be happening. But here's what's going on. Head bowed, shoulders slumped, voice faltering. This is the moment there's video of it too if you want to go see it. This is the moment a South Dakota's Attorney General was told that a man's face had come through his windshield during a hit and run, despite his claim he thought the victim was a deer. The date was September 30th. What? That's my birthday. That's my birthday. This was when he was told this stuff, not when he hit the person and killed the person. And the other thing is, when you lied, you hit him, he flew, he could have been alive.
Right.
And they don't find him for hours and hours and hours later. That's the real crime to me. You didn't give the guy a chance to live. You just said, fuck it, I hit a deer and went home. I mean, come on. Something, I don't believe it. The date was September 30th, and Jason Ravensborg was taking part in his second interview with investigators following the fatal hit and run of 55-year-old Joseph Bover near the town of Highmore 18 days earlier. Footage of the interview, released for the first time on Tuesday, reveals how detectives told him that Joseph's glasses had been found inside his car after the accident, and the only way to get them there was through the windshield. His face was in your windshield, Jason. Think about that, one of the agents says. But Ravensborg, the man responsible for administering justice, and it's just so ironic that he's the Attorney General and he's in charge of justice, and he's just sitting here lying his ass off, in my opinion. He sticks to his story. I didn't know it was a man until the next day. What? I just believed it was a deer. Oh my God. He's now facing impeachment proceedings brought by lawmakers from across the aisle. So I assume he's a Republican. I don't know. I assume that because I read that in the last thing, I think. I don't know. But whatever, the other team, whatever he is, the other team, but both teams should be saying, no, you can't be the leader of justice when you're no. Both sides, I don't care what he is. Meanwhile, prosecutors have brought 3 misdemeanor counts against him with a maximum penalty of 30 days in jail or a $500 fine, leaving Bovers, the guy who was hit, relatives to call for harsher charges. One of his cousins told the Washington Post he's grossly undercharged. Yeah, I was hoping he'd be charged with involuntary manslaughter, but I think so too, unless you can explain yourself. You need, right. Especially because you left him.
Right.
No. It's one thing if you hit him, you called everybody, you told the truth, and he said, I don't know, he stepped out in the road, it's dark, I'm not drunk. That's a whole different situation there. But you just ran away. He knew there was a dead man in the ditch. He knew what he hit, and he lied. I agree with the relatives. Agents from the North Dakota Bureau of Criminal Investigation sat down with him for two interviews on September 12th of the accident, one on the 12th and one again on the 30th. In the first interview, they could be heard about him asking him about glasses that were found inside the vehicle and whether he ever wore glasses himself. Well, there's your chance to lie. And he didn't, because I don't think he understood I don't think he got it. We found a pair of broken glasses in your vehicle, but they weren't sunglasses. They almost looked like reading glasses of some sort. There was a black frame glass, and part of them was lying on the front passenger floorboard, and part of them were laying in the back seat, broken in half. Holy shit. Do you know about them? No, Ravensborg replies. During the next interview, the issues of glasses came up again. They're Joe's glasses, the agent says. So that means his face came through your windshield. Ravensborg can be heard sighing deeply. I was thinking that his face did not come through because I thought there would have been blood.
Oh.
Boom! Nailed! You're thinking his face, you thought, okay, I hit a person, but there's probably not blood, so I can just say it was a deer. Right, why would you think about somebody's face if you didn't hit a person?
Right.
You wouldn't. The glasses are right there, Jason, they're Joe's. The only way for them to get there is through the windshield. Did you see anything? I did not see anything, he insists. I mean, it was just, again, I was looking to get to the side. I did not see anything. The resolution also stated that Ravensbourg's conduct following the crash was unbecoming, and his statements and actions have failed to meet the standard of his office. When we started looking through, then it's all about should they impeach him?
Yes. And put him in jail.
You can't put him in jail unless he's charged with something.
They'll find it.
They haven't even charged him with a fucking misdemeanor yet.
Well, it's too late to wreck his car.
And his call, his 911 call, he said he hit something. It was in the middle of the road. Well, I'm sure we can do a bunch of forensics and find out if that person was in the middle of the road or not. So if that's a lie, they'll find out. Well, I don't know how good the forensics is in South Dakota, but I assume it's fine. Why? Yeah, somebody will do it. When the dispatcher asked if it could have been a deer, he said, initially, I have no idea, before adding, it could be. So his story has changed. First, he doesn't know if it's a deer. Could be. Then, yeah, it was a deer. Then it was, I figured if it wasn't his face, there wouldn't be any blood. Whose face? What face? Humans have face.
Who's deer with glasses?
This is a bad liar. And it's weird because he's an attorney general. What does Jack Madigan say? I do not recall, and I need an attorney. That's all you had to say. If you want to be a dick, I mean, when you hit him and the man flies in the ditch, you don't know he's dead. He could have lived. I mean, he could have lived in that ditch for another 4 hours. That's the crime to me, but I don't even know that you can, I don't know. I guess that would be involuntary manslaughter because you allowed him to die and you knew he might be dying. I don't know. Is there a lawyer who listens to this show? I guess I could call my dad, but sometimes...
Your dad doesn't.
Well, no, my dad does not listen. They think it's on at night. It's on at night. And they can't stay up that late and they don't know where to find it. And you know what? We're just going to leave it at that. I don't think there's anything. After the investigation stretched over 5 months, the prosecutors said they still had questions about the crash and were unable to file more serious criminal charges. They charged him with careless driving out of his lane, and operating a motor vehicle while he was on his phone. He said he was not using his phone at the time of the crash, but had been while driving about 1 minute before. The Attorney General can face up to 30 days in jail and a fine of $500. That's it. I mean, on each charge. Whoop-de shit. He's confident he didn't commit a crime. Oh, okay. Well, good for you. As Rocky Laporte, my comedian friend, would say, good for you. And that he was not drinking before the crash. He provided a blood sample and handed over his electronic devices to investigators, a toxic, but not till 15 hours later. It showed no alcohol in his system. But if you had 2 glasses of wine, I don't think that would show up 15 hours later. I think if you had a lot, it would. So that's your update. Keep your eye on that one. I'll keep an eye on it for us. If this ends like that, that is complete horseshit. A word I like to throw out from the past. Horseshit. Yeah, that's a Jack Madigan favorite. Thank you to my Twitter followers, Joel Kriegler and Casey at Bad Equation. They have sent me, I didn't see this because I was with the parents a lot, and I tried to keep up with things, but it's kind of difficult sometimes.
The vortex.
When I have to report to the tennis court. None of us know how to play tennis. That's the other thing. Like, we know how to play golf. Like, we don't even know how to play. I mean, I don't care. I'll go. You want to hit the ball? But we look like complete assholes. And there was some lady laying out and, just sunbathing and next to the tennis court. And I thought, just the conversation, the amount of cursing and, yeah, I'm sure it wasn't the afternoon she was planning on for that hour. I don't even think we played for an hour. Probably 35 minutes. Are you sore? Nope. I'm not usually sore from things I can do in flip-flops. This is an update on Pompeii. Come on, what other podcast is giving you Pompeii updates? Pompeii chariot found intact 2,000 years after Mount Vesuvius eruption. They found a whole fucking chariot. Now, see, this is the kind of stuff I would read as a kid and go, well, I want to be an archaeologist. But then you read all the boring stuff and you're like, nah, maybe not.
Science.
Yeah, there's a lot of science. I can't. That's where they kill people, though. I'd be willing to dig carefully. I would be a good helper. Yeah. I can't do the real science stuff, no. But I'd do the grunt work just because I think it was fun. But they whittle us out so quickly with all the threats of science. You're ruling out your working class by threatening science. What, carbon dating? No, I'm not playing that. This is what I do think, though, when I see these headlines, and this article does kind of explain it, but I'm like, Pompeii, we just found a whole chariot intact. And from what you can see, the pictures of it, it's super awesome looking. But that was 2,000 years ago. Do we have an area where we're digging? Or are people just building shit and shit's, hey, holy saw, I was going to build a condo and I found a chariot. I feel like Pompeii couldn't have been, I don't know. Or was there ever, okay, let's do a dig and then move on? It doesn't seem like that. A lot of stuff keeps popping up. Officials at Pompeii Archaeological Site in Italy announced Saturday the discovery of an intact ceremonial chariot, one of several important discoveries made in the same area outside the park near Naples, following an investigation into an illegal dig. Oh, people, what y'all doing now? The chariot, with its iron elements, bronze decorations, and mineralized wooden remains, was found in the ruins of a settlement north of Pompeii, beyond the walls of the ancient city, parked in the portico of a stable where the remains of 3 horses were previously discovered. I think we've talked about that, the horses. Mm-hmm. Well, clearly it's a hot area. Like, rope it off. It just seems random. It may not be, but when I read these articles, I'm like, so I could just go start digging and find chariots and shit. The Archaeological Park of Pompeii called the chariot an exceptional discovery and said it represents a unique find which has no parallel in Italy thus far, in an excellent state of preservation. The eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD destroyed Pompeii. The chariot was spared when the walls and the roof of the structure it was in collapsed, and also survived looting by modern-day antiquity thieves who had dug tunnels through to the site. Wow. Grazing but not damaging the 4-wheeled cart, so their tunnel went right by it, these illegal people. They should call Chapo. He'll tell them how to do it. He loves the tunnel. His tunnels are fucking great. There's like Taco Bells in there. His tunnels are wonderful. The chariot was found on the grounds of what is the most significant ancient villas around Vesuvius, with a panoramic view of the Mediterranean Sea on the outskirts of the ancient Roman city. Archaeologists last year found in the same area out on the outskirts of Pompeii, Civitia Gullian, the skeletal remains of what had been a wealthy man and his male slave. We talked about that, attempting to escape death, and they made it through the first round. Round 2, not so much. The chariot's first iron element emerged on January 7th from the blanket of volcanic material filling the 2-story portico. Archaeologists believe the cart was used for festivities and parades, perhaps also to carry brides to their new homes. While chariots for daily life or transport of agricultural products have been previously found at Pompeii, officials say said the new find is the first ceremonial chariot unearthed in its entirety. The villa was discovered after police came across illegal tunnels in 2017, officials said. 2 people who live in the houses atop the site are currently on trial for allegedly digging more than 80 meters of tunnels on the site.
Oh, wow.
Okay, but let's say you're a thief. This is why I don't understand thieves. Let's say you're a thief and you find the chariot. What, are you going to put it on eBay? Pompeii chariot, $17.99 or best bid?
There's probably collectors. That's the real
If you're
dark web.
Bitcoin. Yeah, they're probably paying for it in Bitcoin.
Completely.
Yeah.
With Dogecoin.
Dogecoin update. Oh, I love this one because it's getting closer, and the more people that get their COVID shots, I haven't, but all this stuff's gonna rev up. Elizabeth Holmes, who is she? The Theranos. Go watch that show if you have. I think it was on HBO. I don't know, but just put in Theranos, Elizabeth Holmes, and the movie will come up. It's fascinating. She's the one who changed her voice to talk like this, so that she would be taken more seriously as a woman. Listen, psycho lady, we all know that's not your real voice. It doesn't match your body. I'll never get beyond that. That's the first thing I said when I was watching the movie. I was like, okay, well, this lady's completely crazy. I mean, aside from being obviously some sort of sociopath, this is, no. I do think sometimes an irritating voice can be off-putting, but a high-pitched one for me sometimes, depending. But to then, I don't know, most people have normal voices. For her to go, I'm going to talk like that, and I'm only going to wear black turtlenecks like Steve Jobs. I mean, get your own thing. You just copycat, whatever. Her trial's been postponed because of COVID, but check this out. She blames the government for its failure to preserve critical evidence. Prosecutors allege that executives at Theranos destroyed a database which contained 3 years' worth of accuracy and failure rates. Her failure rates, her blood test, which she claimed you could do with a pick of a pin instead of having to prick of a pin instead of having to do old-timey blood tests. That just one prick and one drop of blood could give you all these results. And when she got it into Walgreens, it was there. And then half of the results were just completely wrong. And finally, they all found out it was bullshit. And the ones that were right were, you know. Okay, so anyway, her trial's coming up. Defense attorneys compare inaccurate blood test results to the fact of a heart attack does not prove what caused the heart attack. The mystery of what happened to the critical evidence proving Theranos' blood testing technology didn't work deepened when Elizabeth Holmes blamed the government. Of course, these people are exhausting. It's always somebody else's fault. They're always the victim. For what she calls an investigative failure. Maybe they did. I don't know. We'll see. In a filing late Tuesday, attorneys for Holmes shot back at prosecutors on a motion to exclude evidence for so-called she wants to get rid of the test results. Well, no, that's what's proving you're full of shit.
Right.
I guess I'd want to, too. Saying they're at fault for losing a database called the Laboratory Information System, LIS, which contained 3 years' worth of accuracy and failure rates of the Theranos test. Rather than accept responsibility for an investigative failure and resulting evidentiary holes in its case, the government has chosen a different path, Holmes' attorney writes. Adding, the government has insinuated that the loss of the LIS data reflects on Mrs. Holmes' supposed guilt, even though she had nothing to do with it. The reason the government lacks this evidence is because the prosecutors sat on their hands for years before attempting to acquire it, then sat on their hands after acquiring it. So you're saying because I was late to ask, it's my fault. It should still be there.
Right.
Where did it go? She destroyed it.
She destroyed it.
I'm sure she did. The reason the government has built its case on this teetering card house of irrelevance evidence is that it was lost, or worse yet, did not want to analyze pre-indictment the actual evidence of testing results in this case, her attorneys argued. However, prosecutors allege that Theranos executives destroyed, the LIS system that proved her blood testing was inaccurate. Well, they also have a million witnesses that work there that said it was inaccurate. So even if that's gone, it's fine. They have live people. In a filing last month, the government said that 3 months after a federal grand jury issued a subpoena for a copy of the database, the LIS was destroyed. 3 months, that's not long when we're talking legal stuff. They wrote that the government has never been provided with the complete records contained in the LIS, nor been given the tools which are available to search the critical evidence as all Theranos' blood test with validation errors. The data disappeared. So, prosecutors point to internal emails, which they say proves Theranos and its counsel attempted to cover up the results in the database from the grand jury. Theranos provided backup copies of the database for investigators to piece together. What an asshole.
Yeah.
However, prosecutors allege the backup required a password that Theranos' executives couldn't, quote, remember. Well, what a great time to forget. Yeah. It was once worth $9 billion before shutting down in 2018. Holmes and her co-defendant Ramsey, quote, Sunny Balwani, each face a dozen criminal wire fraud charges in connection with deceiving investors, patients, and doctors at Theranos' technology. She'll go head-to-head with prosecutors next month over evidence she argues shouldn't be introduced to a jury that will decide her fate. The judge's rulings will set the stage for a much-awaited trial to begin in July. So do you not have any summer plans? You can watch that. I don't know. I'm sure someone will do a podcast about it. Oh my God. Update on our little QAnon friends. I know, Paddles. This one isn't hard. It's very easy.
Great.
And it's short. But I think people should know this. This is my question. What happens to a cult when it doesn't
work?
When your cult is broken. You change the goals of the cult. You know, like when King Doe out in San Diego said the spaceship was coming behind a comet to get him, and it didn't. They all said that, the military was going to take over and Trump would be president and Biden wouldn't, and blah, blah, blah. The startling impacts of former Donald Trump's presidency and conspiracy theories reach deep into the lives of many families. With the disgraced president out of office, many people are now sharing how the QAnon conspiracy theory, built with him at the center and with his support, has torn apart close relationships. And despite the fact that Trump lost the presidency, which many Q believers never thought would happen, many have moved the goalpost. Here we go. This is how you keep it going. And started hoping for his return, just like Jesus.
Can't compare those two.
No, I'm kidding. I know, but they're hoping for life after death. Losing his death to him, and blah, blah, blah. In this way, adherents to the delusion believe its vindication is always just a little further in the future. According to the Washington Post, family members feel like that relatives who fall for Q become like cult members or drug addicts, sucked in by social media companies and self-serving politicians who warp their views of reality. Only identified as Tyler of Minneapolis, Minnesota, 124. Tyler's very sad because his mama went cray-cray. One 24-year-old man said that he noticed a distinctive change in his mother during the critical time leading up to the presidential election, and it kept growing until it felt like she was preaching the Bible to me. At first, she insisted Trump, not Biden, would be inaugurated on January 20th. For a while, Tyler held out hope that Biden's swearing in would jolt his mother back into reality. Yeah, that's my question. Wouldn't it? You'd think, right? I'm with Tyler so far. She would put away her gun and she would return to normal. But the ceremony in Washington seemed to make very little difference at his house in Minnesota. Now Tyler has revealed that his mother is waiting for March 4th. This is a big deal. March 4th is their new date. Another date being circulated by Q believers. So what does that date signify? Well, to me, it's 13 days from St. Patrick's Day.
3, 4, 2, 1.
3, 4, 2, 1. So
March
what?
4th, 21.
Yes.
3, 4, 2, 1.
3, 4, 2, 1. So what?
I don't know. I think it was my locker code somewhere.
Paddles, if you haven't thought your shit through, don't bring it to the forefront. 3, 4, 2, 1. It's not even backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4.
3, 2, 1. The 4th day of March, 21. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, if you did it like Europeans,
Right.
I don't think these people are doing that. not when you've made your own T-shirt to go to a rally and it's a giant Q that's crooked. I don't think you understand how Europeans write dates. Just saying. So this is important. Apparently, Q believers are convinced it's the date Trump will become the new world president.
Whoa!
Oh, he's expanding. Poor Tyler, though. His mom was like not into this, and then she's off the rails now. Tyler, how old is he? He's 24. He's probably like, shit. Mm-hmm. Rep. Adam Smith, Democrat, Washington, who also shares the chairman of the House Armed Committee Services, recently expressed concern about the impending date, as a conspiracy theory poses another national security threat. Some of these people have figured out that apparently, this is where it comes from, 75 years ago, the president used to be inaugurated on March 4th. See, we learn something every day on this podcast, every week. I didn't know that. Is that even true? It says apparently.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Supposedly, it's Valentine's Day. Smith said, according to Insider. Okay, now why is that relevant? God knows. At any rate, now they are thinking maybe we can gather again and storm the Capitol again on March 4th. That is circulating online. During the interview, Tyler also expressed concern about the upcoming date because he does not believe his mother will snap out of it anytime soon. Okay, so mark your calendars, guys. March 4th. We'll see. Now, here's my question. If that doesn't happen, what happens? Do we pack Q up and go home? I don't think so. I think they'll think of other stuff, and that'll be that. You have to go online and look at this. You ready? This is kind of an update, because always in my ongoing thing is, where's my flying car, right? Where's my Jetson car? I know, Paddles. I'm sick of it. Oh, fuck. I'm 55. It takes the same amount of time to get from St. Louis to the Lake of the Ozarks as it did when I was 5 in a car. Maybe longer now because of traffic and Highway 70 is such a shit show. That was not the promise. The promise was, don't worry, Kathleen. I know you're little and this car ride seems a long time when you're totally jacked up to get in a boat. Seems like forever. But by the time you're old, you'll have your own little flying car.
Who promised you this?
The Jetsons promised me that. My dad. My dad said roads would be outdated. They would just be guides.
The Jetsons.
My dad's a Pisces. He thinks big. He was thinking outside the box. Here's what's coming up. I don't know. I guess it's good for the environment, but I don't need more cars. But if you go look at the picture of this online, here's my thing. It looks super futuristic and super cool, but to me, it doesn't look that safe. First mass-produced solar power car is rolling out in 2021. Solar power. It's a three-wheeled vehicle, so let's hark back to the lady in the Dale. Remember, he tried that. She tried that.
Tricycle.
Yeah. Three-wheel. It would be 4 times more efficient than electric cars, go up to 110 miles and cost just $25,900. I can't say the name of this motor company. APTERA. Aptera Motors sold out of its first batch of pre-order of the vehicle in December. Now this is exactly what happened in the Lady in the Dale. I don't know if I'd go in on the first batch, the pre-order. Wait till you see a few on the road. Let's just be patient. The three-wheeled car will be able to go up to 40 miles without needing to be charged on a day with clear skies. What if it's raining?
You're home.
You stay home, or has it got a battery backup? The car is able to go from 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds with top speeds of 110. Company raised over $4 million in Series A funding. I don't know what that is. I would have to ask my brother. Aptera Motors is reportedly gearing up to There are still roadblocks before the car hits the market, however, as the Washington Post reports distribution can't begin until safety nets are conducted and passed. Okay, well, yeah, I'd like to see, because it looks like I could maybe pierce it with a BB gun. No, I'm not saying I could. It just looks like if you got hit by like a GMC Yukon, you would just shrink to the size of a marble. You would be crushed. That's what it looks like. Go look at it online. I mean, it's very futuristic looking. The car is considered to be an ultra aerodynamic electric vehicle that moves on 3 wheels, which takes away potential loss of energy, but also prevents users from collecting a federal tax credit. Oh, that sucks. Because back in the day, in 2007, when I bought my Mercury Mariner hybrid, part of the reason I did it is I got a federal tax credit back. They don't do that anymore. For once in my life, my timing was excellent. He's like, this is the last year they're going to do it. I'm like, great. The car is covered by 34 feet of solar cells, which can take the car around 40 miles on a day with clear skies. The car is about 4 times more efficient, 13 more times efficient than a pickup truck that uses gas as fuel. The design of the vehicle, which features notable curves at the front and the back, helps reduce the drag. Ultra-light carbon composites and fiberglass make up the frame of the car. I don't know. I guess a new boat is fiberglass, but they can be partially created with a 3D printer. I don't know. Go look at it. The vehicle is equipped with a battery pack. Okay, here we go. That provides up to 1,000 miles of range, much greater than the Tesla Model S's 370 miles of range. A market can be found for these vehicles as evidenced by pre-orders. They sold 334 cars within 24 hours and have since found 7,500 people willing to put down a deposit for a future order. Did we learn nothing from Lady in the Dale? No. Nothing? People, just be patient. Wait. Who knows? It could be a hunk of shit. The company is also receiving backing from major investors as it continues to scale production. They raised $400 million in a Series A funding. $4 million ain't that much. I'm betting on a solar future, and I'm betting on Aptera. Sandy Munro of Munro & Associates. In February, the company moved its design facility to a facility in Sorrento Valley, San Diego. It was first founded in 2005, but it was forced to shut down in 2011 after running out of money, only to be revived by its original creators in 2019. I don't know. I feel like a solar car would be an interim car anyway to my flying car, which I'll just wait patiently on. Every time another one comes out. Would you like to put down a deposit? Does it fly? Then no. If it don't fly,
Nope.
okay, moving on to my research assistant, Lewis Black. Animals that can kill you in your state. I'm just going to skip over the boring ones. New York, it says dogs. I mean, really? All of upstate New York? There's bears and shit up there. CDC says, and New York, rats? Bubonic plague. I've seen some rats in Central Park that were seriously the size of my parents' Yorkie. No kidding. And I thought I wouldn't sit out here, but people do. CDC lists dogs as the most dangerous animal in New York. There have been numerous attacks in the state. A small amount of them have been fatal. Just recently, the death of a 65-year-old Daisy Bradshaw caused a stir in Staten Island. Two of her daughter's dogs attacked her in her own home. Bradshaw's daughter and the dogs have been living in the basement. Her daughter believes that Bradshaw went into the apartment to turn off the light. And in a shocking turn, Bradshaw's daughter actually went to court and blamed her mother for her own death by claiming she had scared the dogs from coming into their space. Oh. North Carolina. This is a good one. What do you think can kill you in North Carolina?
Bears.
Right. There's a lot of bears in the mountains in North Carolina. Rattlesnakes?
No.
Oh, I'm sure there's timber rattlesnakes. I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
North Carolina?
Yeah.
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 Probably copperheads. That's not it.
No?
Nope.
Not insects.
This is an insect, but it's a super insect. And
Cicadas.
No.
Lethal.
I was attacked by them once. I didn't die.
Fire ants.
Yep. Fire. I didn't know North Carolina. Although there's so many obvious culprits in North Carolina, the CDC has indicated that the most likely cause of animal-related deaths in the state is contact with other venomous arthropods. The scariest North Carolina is the fire ant, which has a painful bite that can send people into shock, potentially killing them. North Carolina is one of 14 states that are currently suffering fire ant infestations, where the chances of being bitten by a fire ant is reported to be 30 to 60% a year.
Oh my God.
I gotta X that off. I never remember what I did. Oh, I'll go like this. Big X. No, I got it. One more. North Dakota. Guess. Come on, Paddles. Yeah, I'll give you that. Bison.
It's the same thing.
I know. I just think the word bison is fancier.
Is it on their flag?
Buffalo? Is it on their flag?
I don't know.
I don't remember their flag. I've been there a lot for shows, but I never noticed their flag.
No.
North Dakota has minimal data relating to fatalities caused by animals. There are, however, a lot of bison attacks. I mean, that's not funny. The funniest thing ever was I was doing a show. I don't know if it was South Dakota, North Dakota, or Nebraska. It might have been in Valentine, Nebraska, which is in the corner, which is up. There was a casino gig, and some lady wanted to meet me, and I said, sure. And she, that's fine. Let her come backstage, and she came backstage, and she's all excited to meet me. And she got a text, and she looked horrified. And I thought, oh, fuck, what happened? And she's like, I really wanted to meet you, and I'm so glad. I just want to grab a photo, but a bunch of my cows are out, and I have to go. I was like, oh, okay. Do you not have them in a thing? A fence? They fence thing? She goes, no, my neighbor told me. He knows they're mine. Like, she was a farmer. And I'm like, well, you should get a picture before you go. I may not be back here. Ever. I mean, if you want one, I'm here. In 2017, a 65-year-old Alaskan hiker was gored in the thigh by a bison in Theodore Roosevelt National Park. Well, how close were you? When he encountered the huge animal on the trail, he attempted to give it a wide berth. It wasn't wide enough, and the bison charged him and slammed him into the bushes, knocking him out. When he came to, he realized he had a large gash on his leg and managed to slow the loss of blood with his socks until other campers heard his cry for help. Yeah, that's what's so careful. It's a good reason not to hike.
Keep playing tennis.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'll just play tennis with my parents. Let me get my flip-flops. Okay. this was not Lewis. Things that women invented. Just every once in a while, you give women a shout out because nobody shouts us out sometimes for stuff that was cool that we did. Stephanie Kwolek. Have you ever heard of her?
Nope.
No one has. And you know what she invented? Kevlar.
Wow.
No shit. This chemist invented the lightweight fiber used in bulletproof vests and body armor. Since her discovery in 1965, the material, which is 5 times stronger than steel, has saved the lives and is used by millions every day. It's found in products ranging from household gloves and mobile phones to airplanes and suspension bridges. Shout out to Stephanie.
Cool.
How about Elizabeth Maggie? Ever heard of her?
No.
Me neither. This lady was the cause of a lot of childhood fighting. Yep, at least in my house. She invented the game Monopoly.
Oh.
When you're from a big family, here's something to always know. When somebody says on a winter day, you guys want to play Monopoly? Whoever volunteers to be the banker is the cheater.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a running thing. We all know who cheats, and they control the money, and they're sliding themselves 20s in little tiny houses and all kinds of shit. A man named Charles Darrow is often credited with creating the most popular board game in history, but the rules were in fact invented by Elizabeth Maggie. Maggie wanted to demonstrate the problems with capitalism with an innovative game in which players had traded fake money and property. Her design, which she patented in 1904, boom, that's the year my grandpa was born, was called the Landlord's Game. Oh, the game of Monopoly we know today was published in 1935 by Parker Brothers. Yeah, that's why I always thought if you said who did it, I would say Parker Brothers, not some lady who discovered that Darrow was not the sole creator and had for just $500,000, he bought her patent. And monopolized the game. Get it? There are many more female, but so, oh my God, $500. Wow. Yeah. And then he presented it on as his own. On top of already being a little pigster, he went another pig step and presented it as his own. What are we watching? That's our next segment. Well, here's the thing. I didn't get to watch a lot because I was at senior camp. We played tennis, we golfed, we ate at 3:30. You got to get to Turtles in Sarasota by 3:30 or you're not going to get a seat outside. I go, why don't we go like at 5:30? Jesus, are you crazy, Kathleen? No, we'll never get a table. We're not doing that. But I will say, in my long car drive, we talked about Anna Delvey, the fake heiress, right? Well, there's a whole podcast, if you guys are interested, that I thought was awesome called Fake Heiress. It's from the BBC. I did not know that the BBC chooses to do fake reenactments. That part of the podcast I could have done without. It sounded like acting from the 1940s. It's a great podcast, but those particular parts were so awkwardly bad. I don't know. Maybe it's a BBC thing, like NPR has its weird things that they stick to, and it just was unnecessary. It was horribly done. It was people reading lines like, Anna, do you think you will go to prison? I'm not worried about it. It's just that bad. Worse. I can't even do how bad it was. I'm sure I could if I tried, but I can be bad like that. But you can listen to that. Also, I did listen to the Missing Richard Simmons podcast. I can't recommend it. It's pretty clear to me. Richard Simmons retired, and he said, I'm out, Well, doesn't he owe his fans? No, he doesn't owe them anything. He doesn't owe them shit. He did what he did. He helped people. He was very sweet, and he's fucking done. Who got lost in this? Where did y'all get lost? He has the right. Doesn't he owe everyone a goodbye? No. I don't know who's planting these seeds that everybody, I don't know. I always liked the way Johnny Carson ended his show and his whole career. He just went, well, this is going to be my last show. Goodbye. And they did a thing and a hoop and he left. They want a goodbye from Richard Simmons. But here's the problem. Here's the problem if you're Richard Simmons. Because he's like super involved in his fans' lives, which is super sweet. But it's serious shit. Like my fans come backstage and we have a beer and they usually tell me a funny story. There's nothing heavy going on. It's not like, oh my God, Kathleen, I weighed 1,400 pounds and then I heard your podcast. And now I weigh more because I like ranch. I would just make people fatter. I'm like the enabler. That's against the show. Remember the show where they would help people with addictions? Me and Lewis wanted to have a show following that called The Enabler. Well, I could teach you how to play craps and video poker and which cigarettes to smoke and that kind of stuff. Obviously, we would not have the show as a joke. But if Richard says goodbye to one person, then he's got to say goodbye to everybody. And you know what? Maybe he's tired. And maybe he just went, I don't feel like it. I don't know. I listened to it, but I would recommend Fake Heiress. Now, I'm going to be watching this. I'm watching the Woody Allen Mia Farrow thing, but I've read a lot about that, you know, this is kind of one-sided, but I don't know. I'm not a Woody Allen movie person either. It has never been my thing. Lewis loves those movies. I don't know. I'd rather watch Jaws for the 170,000th time. Yeah. I'm going to watch it, though, just to see how it's presented. And the first episode was on, and I already didn't know. I'm like, what? Like, you have, how many? How many kids? 11? What's going on with that? Like, I don't know. She just kept adopting and having more people, and I don't know. They say it's very skewed, and so just keep that in mind when you're watching it. But I am excited about this. The Buc-ee documentary, and it starts on March 1st. The notorious B.I.G. rapper whose deep-bellied delivery thrust hip-hop forward and earned him the designation of one of rap's all-time great has proven a fount of fascination since his shock murder at the age of 24. Now Brooklyn's favorite son is the subject of an intimate documentary entitled Biggie, I Got a Story to Tell, that draws upon candid interviews, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. I just think that I like the rap stuff because I don't really know the history of it, and I like learning it. And this is an update, but I'm putting it on What Are We Watching? Because I don't think I ever talked about it. I think it was I watched it long since before we started this Pubcast, but did you guys see El Chapo on Netflix? I'm not usually into like, well, I like the drug cartel things, I guess. Violence, I don't care. Like, there are a lot of people go, it's so violent. I'm like, I didn't.
It's a cartel.
Well, it's a cartel. They're not real polite. Oh. Hello, would you like some tea? Or you want some coca? Coca! You want to see my hippos? People who have hippos to eat their enemies aren't usually
Kind.
They're usually kind of violent. It's also when people go, oh my God, it's so violent. That's what happened. It's the truth. Like, I don't like gratuitous violence. There's no reason for it. Then why would you? It's stupid. But, I mean, anyway, if you haven't seen El Chapo on Netflix, I wish I could unsee it and then re-see it again. It was so good. The actors, oh my God, that little man, I don't know what his name is, who plays El Chapo. And then I got so into it that if my friends called, I would only respond if they called me El Cato. I am El Cato! Like, he was, like, Pablo Escobar, he had a fun side. Like, he would play soccer, and they had big carnivals at the house, and his daughter wants a unicorn, so he made somebody, and I know the animal people don't get mad at me, I didn't do it, but he cut a horn off something else and glued it on a pony's head. I mean, that guy's a that part's bad for that other animal, but the daughter got a fucking unicorn. I mean, El Chapo wasn't as fun. I would recommend watching Pablo's stuff too, because he was very violent, he did bad things, but he had a side that you would want to go. If it's Pablo's party, I'm thinking about it. El Chapo's, a little too intense. Anyway, he's in a prison in Colorado somewhere right now, but just last week his wife, ex-wife, current ex, I don't know, wife, I think it's his current wife. Mm-hmm. She's the beauty queen. And by the way, her prison, it's not a headshot, what's it called? Mugshot, right.
Headshot.
I know, I'm losing my memory. At one point, my dad had an iPad in his hand. He goes, hey, do you know the password to, I go, that? The iPad? Yeah, that's what I meant.
That.
He can't remember, and they don't have like Alzheimer's. They're just getting old and goofy. Emma Cornell Aspero went back to being a brunette. Her mugshot was better looking than any headshot I've ever had purposely done. I'm not even kidding. And I mean, I know she was a beauty queen and I never was a beauty queen, so I would have a long way to go to try to catch up to a beauty queen. But her mugshot, no makeup, no nothing. I was like, God, well, that's really nice for her. It's not nice she's been arrested though. The glamorous beauty queen of Mexico's most notorious drug trafficker had last appeared in public as a blonde, her hair cascading down her back in a glamorous white-laced wedding dress that she modeled for Mexican designer Benito Santos on Instagram. I said that. It was pretty good, right? Yeah. My accent was pretty good. Benito Santos.
Gato.
You're looking for Benito Santos? I am a Cato.
It's because El Chapo would just start screaming like he'd be normal. Then he'd go, I don't know anything about Chapo! And like lose it. So then I just kept doing it for a week because it made me laugh that somebody could just lose their shit like that. In another photo, she models a hip-hugging, sparkly purple gown as she prepares to rat out high-ranking members of the Sinaloa cartel, Sinaloa cartel, including her own stepsons, who, by the way, not the brightest of El Chapo's 9 million children. They're the ones who ended up getting him caught because they're posting Instagram shit with the location. They haven't undone the location button on Instagram. I mean, seriously, I don't know how before he went to prison he didn't shoot him. I mean, this is the problem. Sometimes, though, not with the Generation Zers, for all of them, but sometimes they're too casual about all that shit, especially when your dad is in charge of a cartel. How about we not take a lunch picture? Heck, guess where I'm at? Me and Dad are having tuna at Spanky's.
For 10 more minutes.
We'll be here for like an hour. Oh my God. She's definitely cooperating with federal lawmen. She's been charged with international drug trafficking, this and that. She turned herself in to authorities in Washington earlier this week. She faces more than 10 years in prison if convicted on drug trafficking charges. Maybe she's done all this to get away out of the cartel. I don't know why you would do this if you were her. I would take the money and leave, and then people go, well, Kathleen, you've seen all those shows. You can't leave the cartel. It's like leaving the mob. Yeah, she could. She's the wife. And let the kids, she's got twins, girls, little girls, and tell the sons, it's all yours. I fucking want out. I think she likes the glamour. I think she likes being El Chapo's wife. She's also accused of helping Guzman, 63, escape a maximum security prison in 2015 and helping to plan another escape before he was extradited to the United States in 2017, according to court papers. I don't understand how we can charge someone in another country with them trying to get someone out of a prison in that country. If somebody did that to us, we would lose our minds. I don't get, if she's drug trafficking internationally, yes, but so what if she tried to get him out of a prison in Mexico and they're Mexican?
Right.
What's that? Why? Because we were waiting on getting him, and then you know what? New York Post. Who writes this? The leggy blonde found of flashy designer clothes. You don't write the leggy blonde. Do you write the stumpy leg del Chapo?
Stumpy leg.
Weenie chubby leg del Chapo? No, you don't mention it. You already said she's a model. You already said it's just so gratuitously gross.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, she might like it. I don't know. The leggy brunette found in fashion designer clothes. It was a fixture at her husband's trial in Brooklyn. Yeah, remember that? In 2019, at the time, the Post exclusive reported she was under federal allegation for help to run the cartel that is now spearheaded, the source said, by stepsons Ovidio Guzman Lopez and Ivan Archivaldo Guzman and Jesus Alfredo Guzman. Jesus Alfredo Guzman. Salazar. And Joaquin Guzman Lopez, whose age is unknown. So the mama's still in charge. Give it up. Yeah. She's from California. I mean, she's Mexican, but she lived in Mexico. But along the way, the former journalism student and aspiring model amassed 600,000 Instagram followers. She posts glamorous photographs of herself in low-cut blouses, blah, blah, blah. We know all that. There's videos of her on gondolas and dinner overlooking canals. One video shows 2 glasses of white wine at an outdoor restaurant, but it wasn't clear whether she was on a date.
Or wanting to get drunk.
Yeah. She's from California and then went to live in Mexico when she was little on somebody's farm. Let's see if I can find that. It's kind of interesting. If she cooperates, I imagine it'd be a lot less time than 10 years. But she was born in July 1989 near San Francisco, but grew up in a remote area of Mexico surrounded by pine forests. Her father, Inez Coronel Barrera, was a cattle rancher in the region and a feared drug lord. Who worked for Guzman. So her dad worked for El Chapo. The daughter met, I remember that in the movie when she comes to the wedding and he's not even happy at the wedding. El Chapo was never happy.
No.
Pablo, happy.
Yep.
Many, many times. And Pablo made it fucking rain in town and stuff. He just gave money everywhere. It was great. Not that he should be killing people. I understand the bad part. Don't go.
Kathleen, this is ridiculous. You're advocating.
More trafficking.
Cartel captains. Guzman, he was 50. She was like, 9. He fell in love with her. Blah, blah, blah.
She was a gift.
So, she was a gift by the local cattleman. No, El Chapo, we bring to you a model.
A naked blonde.
This is something you just have to go look. Moving on. You have to go look at this online. I've never seen anything like it. Somebody, and they got a picture of it. Once in a lifetime sighting of an incredibly rare half male, half female cardinal spotted in Pennsylvania.
What?
Yes. Go look at Paddles. You will do the show notes.
Okay. Half.
Well, they're saying it's half female, half male. I don't really know about its sexual organs, but it is the picture of it. A boy cardinal are the bright red ones, and the girl cardinals are like a brownish red, but mostly brownish. Mm-hmm. This one, right down the middle, like sometimes you see cats where it looks like they were dipped in paint and there's a perfect line. Bright red on one side, brown on the other.
I'm on it.
Just put it in the show notes. When you see the picture, you're going to go, holy shit, and they won't tell anybody. They don't want a crowd. I guess it lives around there. Yeah, so they won't say the exact address, but we know it's in Pennsylvania, Erie, just outside of Erie. Yeah, could this be the same one in Erie because they found another one there too a while back. This guy's been birding for 48 years. I didn't know bird watching was called birding. He got his homeowners permission to take pictures of it. They won't say the homeowners don't want to say where the bird was spotted because they don't want to be identified and have people show up to see the bird. But that the bird is residing, in case you want to try, Warren County, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
The whole county. I'm not narrowing it down. But if you want to try, it's in the general area of Grand Valley, PA. I don't know where that is, but as he stated in his Facebook post. So go look at it. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it, ever. And now you know where to go see it if you want to go see it. You can try. All right. What am I going to wrap this up with? Well, we'll do this one and then I'll do one more. They're quick. This is kind of cool. Everybody, I assume, has seen Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, the house that they shot Buffalo Bill's home in the movie will soon be available to overnight guests. No, he didn't really live there.
Right.
They just used it as a set. In Perryopolis, Pennsylvania, there's a lot of things going on in Pennsylvania. You got a half female, half male cardinal flying around Warren County. And now you can go here in Pennsylvania, outside of Pittsburgh. 3 decades since its premiered, Silence of the Lambs is still considered one of the top suspense horror movies of all time. The film predominantly featured a home in Perryopolis, I hope I'm saying that right, Fayette County, as the dwelling of serial killer Buffalo Bill, the iconic 100-year-old home. It's a great looking house from the outside. If you like old timey, like I like it. The iconic $100 went up for sale recently, but wasn't on the market for long. We kind of focused on the movie history, and we got over 6 offers in the first 2 weeks. Real estate agent Eileen Allen. Chris Rowan, a huge fan of the movie, now owns the motion picture Landmark, and he has killer plans for it. Will be a boutique accommodation. Soon you'll be able to book Buffalo Bill's house for a stay overnight, for an overnight stay. No, a stay overnight. I read it right the first time. In addition to renting the home for personal stays, he also plans to open it up for tours and rent it out for special events. There you go. That's it. Good man. That's what you do, including weddings. I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's weird.
Happy hour for the office? Sure. Want to start a wedding at a place where it was supposed to be a
It's all down
dungeon
here.
of death? 30th anniversary of Best Picture Oscar winner coincides with the CBS drama Clarice. Yeah, I've seen the ads for that. The actress there.
No.
And it's gutsy to take it because you know everybody's going to compare you to Jodie Foster forever and ever and ever. But that lady,
And you will lose.
you will lose. You will lose every single time. And what if you're going to try to be Anthony Hopkins? You want to...
Right. You
Yeah.
will lose.
God. The small screen adaptations follows Caristo. Yeah, I don't care about that. It's now decorated with movie memorabilia from the movie, and at least one renovation is in the works. Remember the basement well in the film? Well, it never existed in the real home, but now there are plans to dig a well in the basement to make the home feel just a little more creepy. That's fine. He hopes to have the home ready for guests within the next few months. He's currently running a contest for anyone wanting to win the chance to be the first person to stay in the house. It runs through February 20th. Okay, well, there you go. Here's the last thing for today. Listen, termites. I believe, I don't believe enough to care enough to read about it really, but do I believe there are aliens? Do I believe there are other living beings within our galaxy that, and I don't mean like a worm. I mean things we would call, an alien. Like a little gray guy. They have all the people that are into it know all the groups, the grays and the so-ons. And I don't go that far. I don't care enough. Because if there are aliens, I certainly wish they would get here and hurry up. And then people go,
You're just not smart enough to accept them.
well, we're never going to get smarter. Here we are. We're humans. We are just not the brightest bulbs on the tree, and it'd be great. But I feel like lately, I don't know if it's because of cell phones or probably, maybe partially, there's been a lot more sightings and a lot more of the same kind where they talk about the cylinder-shaped thing like a cigar, and maybe it's a military thing. I don't know. Again, I don't care enough because I already believe it's happening. Do I think the government's lying? I don't even know if they're organized enough to lie as a unit. Do I think something happened in Roswell and they covered it up? Yeah. Whatever it was, I don't know. I've watched the movies, whatever. But this is not what I'm going to read to you. Is this happened again? And I just read something like this not that long ago. We just had something go right over the top of us. Cockpit audio from American Airlines flight reveals mystifying close encounter with the fast-moving cylindrical object over New Mexico at 36,000 feet. Now, this is better than if you were on the United one from Denver to Hawaii and your engine, moopsie, caught on fire. I don't fly. I try not to go on United. The encounter happened on Sunday as American Airlines Flight 2292 passed over a remote area stretch of northeast New Mexico, west of Des Moines, en route to Phoenix. The flight was traveling around 460 miles an hour at 36,000 feet. Everything's fine at that point, right? The long cylindrical one for the rest of this conversation is one that I always refer to, and then for people who read these stories, it's like the cigar one. So this one seems to keep coming, this kind, versus like, the pancake spaceship or the fried egg. I like to call the one the fried egg. I don't know if anybody's on board with that, but that's what I call it, the fried egger. This is not a fried egger. This is the cigar one again. And apparently some of them can go flip like top to bottom, not just go like straight. They can actually just go boing like a pill. It look like a pill too. That'd be another cigar. American Airlines flying from Cincinnati to Phoenix. That's a strange route. I hardly ever go through the Cincinnati airport, and I like it. And I feel like there's hardly anybody there. And it's really easy to rent a car. And they have a good little system in there, little tram deal. It's a nice airport. Just doesn't ever seem that crowded. I don't know what's going on. American Airlines flight traveling from Cincinnati. I just spilled beer. I hope it didn't go in the microphone. Shared a bizarre close encounter with the pilot described as a long cylindrical moving object and a radio transmission intercepted by Steve Douglas, who runs the Deep Black Horizon blog. Oh, wow. So somebody's stealing it. Wow. There are times when I think, all right, Kathleen, get it together. You're kind of losing it. And then I read, really? Steve Douglas? Pfft, he's running a Deep Black Horizon blog intercepting air traffic control. Okay. Yeah, this is what the pilot can be heard telling Albuquerque Air Traffic Control, do you have any targets up here? We just had something go right over the top of us. I hate to say it, but it looked like a long cylindrical object that almost looked like a cruise missile type of thing moving really fast right over the top of us. The plane said it was traveling around 460 miles an hour, and at the time, in a statement to the Daily Mail, American Airlines confirmed the authenticity of the audio clip obtained by Douglas. According to Douglas, no significant military aircraft presence was noted in the area at the time, reported to be about 1 p.m. local time. So this is flying around in the day, whatever it is. And here's the thing, if we are shooting missiles, where do they land?
Right.
I don't understand. If you're going to say it's a missile, okay, but where did it end up? The apparent encounter shares various similarities to another incident that occurred in the same area just under 3 years ago. That's what I mean. In that incident, 2 pilots on a different aircraft, a Learjet and an Airbus, reporting having close encounters with a mysterious object flying above them. The sightings occurred within minutes of each other on February 24th in 2018, 37,000 feet above southern Arizona, close to New Mexico. The pilot of the Learjet, belonging to Phoenix Air with the tail number blah, 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 reported the initial sighting, saying, was anybody above us that passed like 30 seconds ago? When the dispatcher replied no, the pilot laughed, insisting it must be a UFO. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't an airplane. But it was. The path was going in the opposite direction, the pilot went on. It wasn't an airplane, but it was the path. Oh, but it was. I see what he's saying. It wasn't an airplane, but it was. Like it was on a path. Moments later, a pilot of American Airlines said, yeah, something just passed over us. Like, I don't know what it was, but at least 3,000 feet above us. Yeah, it passed right over the top of us. When asked if the object was in motion or hovering, the pilot said couldn't make it out whether it was a balloon or whatnot, but it was just really beaming light, or could have had a big reflection. It was several thousand feet above us going the opposite direction. It was very bright, but it wasn't so bright you couldn't look at it. It didn't look anything like an airplane. You know, most airplanes you're going to see some kind of wing surface, some type of tail. No, really, no matter what type of airplane it wasn't an airplane. What was weird about it, normally if you have an object and the sun is shining this way, the reflection would be on the side, but this was as bright all the way around it. It was so bright you couldn't really make out what shape it was. In Sunday's incident, the pilot description of the missile-like object matches a number of encounters of U.S. Navy fighter pilots have reported having objects off the eastern seaboard for the last 15 years. Man, there's all kinds of video of that because the Navy people, somebody released them. I was kind of shocked they did. Many of such encounters are revealed in a 2019 New York Times report in which a Navy pilot, that's why they did it, 2019. How strange aircraft would appear in their training airspace, sometimes for days on end, defying known propulsion and aerodynamic capabilities. That's what I'm talking about. The fact that you could just take like a, that kind of shaped pill, like a cylinder deal, and just flip it. What the pilots may have seen is still unclear. According to the Drive, the incident happened not too far away from the sprawling White Sands Missile Range. And New Mexico itself is home to a number of military facilities and restricted areas. Fine. I'm on board with, I'm sure we're shooting all kinds of shit off in the desert that nobody even knows about. But where did it end up? The likelihood that a missile may have, quote, gone off the reservation during a test or any other kind of military exercise is slim, as any procedural plan would mean the pilots wouldn't have would have been pre-notified to any such safety hazard. Yeah. Whoever shot it would be like, by accident, holy shit, we better tell American Airlines we got some missiles we lost.
Do they have glasses on?
The incident occurred during the state of New Mexico is no stranger with the city of Roswell reporting one of the nation's most infamous UFO sightings in 1947. So there you go. There's your little mystery, people. Now, see, I think they're coming more frequently because they're about ready to introduce themselves. And I can't wait. And I hope they're nice. What if they're not? And then I often think about it like, if a ship, truly, like an alien ship, landed on land. I always think about it landing on the water, and then I wouldn't be as scared because I don't think they could get to me. But I think my initial reaction would be fear versus I'd be curious, but I'd probably try to go get a gun or something.
A gun. Ron.
Seriously. Yeah. I mean, because what if, they come out of... my reaction would be to hide and try to observe them, but hide. I don't want them to see me. That doesn't even mean that they're mean, but if I had to be realistic, a lot of people, I think, oh, I'd go up and greet them and shit. No, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm having a nice life. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to go with you people. I'm not ready to go wherever you live. Like, I want them to help us, but I don't really want to be involved one-on-one. Let somebody else do that. Somebody that knows science. All right, termites, that's it for episode 30. Did you have fun? Me too. Go watch Biggie. Listen to Fake Eris if you're bored in the car. It's a good podcast. That lady goes hardcore. The host is good. I don't like the reenactment shit. It's just awful. I was like, are they serious? I really thought, are they serious? Like, well, we're going to keep doing this. And it's so unnecessary. The thing was just fine. The facts are fine enough. All right. That's it. I'm going to finish my beer. Cheers to Fairhope, Alabama. Right there on Mobile Bay. And that's it. Night-night, termites.